Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to talk about my 2020 Tesla Model 3 that I've had for 5 years and 72,000 miles and how it's time to say goodbye. So here you join me inside my 2020 Tesla Model 3 for basically the last time. I wanted to talk just a few minutes about my ownership and my experiences and really how I got to this point. Purchased this car. Well, I guess I should probably back up. I think it was 2012. Attended with a good friend of mine the Detroit Auto Show, and Tesla had a booth there, and they had all they at that point had was the Tesla Model S, and had sort of been following the company and had owned hybrids and was very interested in the next step. And for me, that was the EVs. But I was able to order this car in October, I think, November, something like that, of 2019. Picked it up on December 7th, 2019. It's a standard range plus. I had, at the time, 250 mile range. This is a rear-wheel drive base model. The only option that I sprung for was the midnight silver metallic. I'm not sure if white was the base color then. I don't quite remember, but that was $1,000. So all in, my total was $37,200. At the time, there was only I think an $1,800 or $1,850 tax credit, so I was able to take advantage of that, but purchased it for $37,200. Owned it for 5 years now, and we've put 71,533 miles on it, and in that time period we've used 16,758 kilowatt hours. Almost all of that has been charging on AC charging at home. And so that's averaged out to a total consumption of 234 watt hours per mile. And the last 20,000 miles of that time period, probably around that time, that many miles, I've had the Michelin Cross Climate all season tires on there, which are wonderful tires, but they're not EV tires, and so they have caused a little bit of a hit to the efficiency. It's probably also worth talking about efficiency. Here you can see at the end of 2024, I've spent $437 on charging to go. I'm going to estimate somewhere between 10 and 12,000 miles this year. I haven't really gone on any trips or anything, and most of that, almost all, has been charging at home on my level 2 charging. And you can take this at a grain of salt. Tesla says the gas savings are $1,024. I'm not sure how accurate that is, but you can see that's what I paid per kilowatt hour. So definitely an efficient vehicle. But I wanted to get into some of the complaints that I have and what I love about the car. So I'm going to start with a complaint. The only mechanical issues I had one headlight unit go out. Tesla came using their wonderful app, scheduled an appointment, came to my garage, fixed it under warranty. The other issue, which is very common, is I had to have the upper control arms on the front suspension replaced because they were squeaking when I would turn the wheel. That's a very common issue in Model 3s. I'm hoping that's been resolved with this new piece. They said that it was. Thankfully, I was able to have both those done under warranty. But that's it. That's literally the only two mechanical issues. I've never had to replace the 12-volt battery, which has been nice. Other kind of issues, my number one overall usability complaint is seat comfort. I don't find these seats particularly comfortable. My wife loathes these seats. And I will also say, while they have held up well, the noise, vibration, and harshness, it's quite loud in here. The cross climate tires, Michelin tires, made it a little bit more so. So that's another thing. It's just not a quiet place to be. The other thing, I have had degradation on the battery. Now, it's hard to know exactly how much degradation you've had unless you do a 100 to 0 rather range test. And I don't really have time to do that now, but I'm going to say my degradation is somewhere in the 10 to 15% range. Now, that's perfectly normal for a car that has 71,000 miles, and that's not outside of what you would expect. But because this was a lower range car to start with, you know, you started off at 250 miles, and now I'm down to 212 to 225. And on the highway, you know, it's going to be less than that. So I can easily do 150 miles on the highway at highway speeds, but I don't think I could go much beyond that. And when you're planning your trips, you kind of account for that. Superchargers are everywhere, so that's really not an issue. But I am looking for a car with more range. Particularly, I'm looking for my next car to have more and better winter range. This is a preheat pump car. This does not have the octo valve that can move heat from the battery to the battery, and you know, anywhere it's needed from the cabin to whatever. It doesn't have that capability. So those are my complaints. That's it. I love the car. This is what's got me to start this channel. So EVs are the future. I love driving this car. What I love the most is how it drives. I like that it's sporty. I like that it's smaller and easier to park. I park in a downtown parking garage. It's nice to not have a big car. It's usually just me in here, sometimes my wife, but just the two of us. So we don't really need that much. And we have an SUV. So I like that this is a sporty car. I love the way it drives. I love the power. It's got plenty of power. I love the way it handles. And I really love the over-the-air updates. This car has literally, from a software standpoint, gotten better with time. So one of the biggest changes that was made was adding turn signals. When you turn the turn signal on, the repeater cameras come up in the screen. That was an amazingly positive update. There's been countless others, small updates over time. And while this is a hardware 3 car, it can still do the full self-driving, and I have videos on that on the channel as well. From a hardware 3 standpoint, I'm not that impressed, but it certainly has made improvements over time. And regardless of full self-driving, having a car that for free gets updates regularly, like literally every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I have an update. Now, they're not all big changes, but you know, sometimes they are, and it's really beneficial. Now, I'm not sure if my car has it. You may have to have hardware 4, but I do know that they updated to have rear cross traffic alert. In a car that's so safe, not having that seems like a very glaring omission. The app is amazing, and you might think, well, who cares? Do I really need an app and phone key? Yes, you do. No other car company seems to have figured this out like Tesla has, and let me give you an example. Preconditioning your car. Amazing. Works every time. The idea that if you have the premium connectivity, you can actually see cameras from your phone. You can now record clips from Sentry Mode from the car to your phone. These are little things in and of themselves, but added together are really kind of amazing and make for a completely different experience. I'll tell you something else that you might not have thought about. Let's say you're out of town, a friend needs to borrow your car. You can text them access to your car. So they download the Tesla app. They now have a key to your car and can use it however they choose to. That's, you know, might be a small use case, but I really, really appreciate that. It also continues to update over time. I now have access to my car via Apple Watch. Again, I don't even need my phone. I can use my Apple Watch to open the car. I don't need a key. I can use it to precondition the car. It's on and on. So it's hard to overstate the importance of that to me. I mean, as I'm interfacing with the car, that means a lot to me. And it may not be as important to you. We like road tripping. The Great American Road Trip. We've done a lot of road trips in this car, and early on, especially, if you think late 2019, early 2020, there weren't as many superchargers as there are now to choose from. So we had the least range Tesla, and we were able to do it, and we had a lot of fun. We've gone to the Gulf Coast, to the East Coast, up and down the Eastern Seaboard, to Tennessee from Ohio several times. So we've put a lot of road trip miles on this car. It's a great car to road trip. I do like, with premium connectivity, you can now see traffic on the screen. So that's kind of helpful, especially if you're road tripping solo. So I think with any new car, you can't talk about it without talking about depreciation. Let's face it, it's never going to be a wise financial decision to buy a new car. It just isn't. But if you're like me, you want to know where your money went, how much damage basically was done. So as I indicated, I purchased this car on December 7th, 2019 for $37,200. And after 5 years and 71,533 miles, I'm selling it to Carvana, who gave me the best offer, for $17,800, or approximately 48% of the value, the original value, which it sold for new 5 years ago. That may sound terrible, and honestly, it isn't. To lose half its value doesn't make for a great day. However, we've had our ID4 for only 2 years, and it's lost way more than half its value already. So, times change. I think the resale value of EVs in particular will continue to go down for two reasons. One, battery technology is continuing to improve. The speed of charging, the capacity, the LFP that has the iron, lithium iron phosphate, have way more longevity and cycle times without degradation. There's some downsides too, but as we start to see those different chemistries, and if I just watched a video that showed Chinese cars have a 900 volt architecture. So speeds are going to be recharging are going to go down. Costs will continue to go down. Long story short, and the last thing, supply will be very high because all these leased cars are going to be coming back. There's also uncertainty with tax credit going forward here in the U.S. So so it's going to be a great market in the next couple years for used EVs, I believe. So if it's been so great, why is it time to part with it, you might ask? Well, part of it is the value of the car, to be honest. I would get regular updates from Carvana, and there's only one place to go for the value of this car, and it's down. Getting close to the end of my battery warranty. I don't personally have concerns about that, or specific concerns, but I'm out of the bumper to bumper warranty period of 50,000 miles. At 100,000 miles with this battery pack, I would be out of the the battery warranty. So combine those factors with the reduced those factors with the reduced value every month, means it's probably time for this to go, and I'm getting a deal on my next one. So I'm not going to reveal what that is now. I'll let you guess in the comments, but let me just review real quickly what my priorities are. Range, particularly in winter. I want to be able to have a heat pump. I want road tripping ability. Excellent tech, sound system. This car has it's not the premium sound system, but the sound system is honestly better than any other car I've owned, and certainly it's better than any GM product that's on the road now. If you don't believe me, look at some of my videos. Like, there is not a GM product to do today that has a better radio than this. Certainly not the Blazer, certainly not the Lyric, certainly not the Equinox. Particularly when you're streaming and not going through Bluetooth, it sounds literally amazing. So, and as I said, road tripping. I mean, those are all big deals to me. We have a road trip in January that I'll have the new car. We're going kind of where it all began, back to Detroit. We're going to the Detroit Auto Show, and so I'll have some videos from that. But it'll be interesting to see how the new car handles that. I'm not going to reveal what I got, but please do stick around, subscribe, and I will let you know in very shortly what I have, and then we'll get to cover that car a lot going forward. So I really appreciate you watching. Life's been kind of busy. There's not been that many videos lately. I hope to get some more out going forward. But please like the video, subscribe to see what's coming next, and I will see you on the next one.